Hey everybody, this is Cyrus here, supernatural author, researcher, and tonight I want to talk about the issue of basically people who don't know anything about the subject of the objective evidence of the afterlife, which is one of the things I talk about on this channel, a lot of which comes out of direct spirit communication, near death experiences, out of body experiences, and physical mediumship, a host of other topics, after death contacts, materializations of deceased people. There's so many different areas of evidence. I usually direct people to victorzammit.com. It's an excellent resource that has all of the different areas of objective evidence listed. And why do I bring that up? Because you have people who come around sometimes with nothing but theories without any of the evidence to back it up. And then they begin spreading those theories while dressed as, talking as, and looking like professionals who know what they're talking about. In reality, they don't know anything about the objective evidence and they're just creating philosophy. So somebody in the Afterlife Topics group linked this guy. You'll see him pop up on the screen. You can see his name. I'm not going to name him by name, but you can see who it is by just looking at my screen right here. And basically, this guy has been talking about his philosophy, his opinion about what happens when we die, and how it relates to the phenomenon of deja vu. So basically, this guy literally thinks that when you die, just like the film Groundhog's Day, you immediately begin your life over again. I guess from the point you're born, and this just continues forever, right? So only your higher self has awareness outside of this perpetual existence, and sometimes you gain a little bit of consciousness about your higher self, and you remember having repeated the same thing like a billion times in the past because you keep reliving your same life again and again, and that's what deja vu is. Okay, so basically this guy is completely off his rocker. And it amazes me that people are listening to this. And if I had to guess, I would say the people who think this kind of stuff up, they don't have any knowledge about the objective evidence of the afterlife. They don't know that there are direct communications with deceased people. And this has been going on for a long time. There's been experiments that have taken place since the 1900s involving, say, the cross correspondences to verify the existence of what we call spirit communication. And we have today modern experiments that further demonstrate direct communication with the deceased. We see this happening out of the laboratory at the University of Arizona with Gary Schwartz. And we see it happening with advanced ITC, instrumental transcommunication laboratories, like with Rinaldi out of Brazil, as one example. And also just the information we get from being in direct contact with that side. I've been practicing out-of-body experiences for a number of years now, and this opened up a connection to be able to have direct communication with deceased people. And let me tell you, not one of them has ever indicated to me that life is basically Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, right? And in the past, I think when I first began having like out-of-body experiences and carrying on conversations with people living in other densities, other realms, other dimensions, I had a lot of these kind of like insecurities in my mind because I would listen to people like this gentleman. I listened to people like Tom Campbell, who claims that nobody who dies like really gets to continue being themselves. That the people we meet on the other side are just like holographic illusions. We have the Groundhog Day guy here, and a lot of other like weird theories that are floating around. And so I began asking people in this out-of-body state, I'm like, hey, are you real or are you like an illusion? And the response I would usually get was like a cross between laughing at me and being offended by me. So I've had a couple of people respond to me by saying, what's the matter with you? Are you like, is your heart so fragile that you think that the universe is out to get you, and that what you see isn't real, and that I'm not a real person, and that you're just dreaming all this up? Those are the types of responses that I would get. And I've also heard spirits say, and I remember this was like on the Leslie Flint seances, and Leslie Flint was a series of direct voice mediumship seances that lasted like something like 40, 50 years out of England, up until like the late 80s, early 90s when Flint passed away. And this was a lot of direct spirit communication. I remember one of the regular communicators said something to the effect of that people on Earth have very funny ideas about us. They they seem to refuse to look at us as being still people, but they want to either claim that we are some kind of magnificent godlike entities, or that we are like phantasms and shady ghosts and netherworldly beings and things like that. So I always thought that was a bit funny too. So basically, my point here is that some people have these ridiculous ideas, and this bugs me so much because there's a lot of people out there grieving. I do a lot of work with a group called Helping Parents Heal. There's thousands of people in that group who have lost their children. Okay, I know a lot of people in the Afterlife Topics group who have lost people close to them, like spouses. People lost their parents. I've lost my parents. I've lost my brother. So there's a lot of people who are grieving. The last thing that they want to hear is that the afterlife, all of the evidence is an illusion, and there's no evidence to support that theory, but just because some guy in a suit says that, they don't want to hear that existence is Groundhog's Day, and that we just keep reliving the same existence again and again. Because these theories, there's no evidence to back it up, and what you're doing is you're destroying people's hope. Because people get a lot of hope based on the objective evidence of the afterlife, that it's real. So why should you come in without any access to the objective evidence, without addressing any of that, and just start pushing out like this rando theory? It doesn't make any sense. So if you're going to go into this field, then look at the objective evidence. If you're going to be the skeptic and dismiss that evidence, then do it, but at least present the evidence so that you're intellectually honest. It's quite ridiculous to begin thinking up of theories about life after death without knowing anything about what we know about life after death. Well, I guess that's it for my rant tonight. So if you like this kind of thing, please subscribe to this channel. I'm in the YouTube slums at the moment. Couple hundred subscribers, not many views. I'm hoping someday I can look back at this video and be like, those were the days when nobody watched this channel. But the Facebook group is a lot bigger than this YouTube channel, though. We have almost 8,000 members. You can join us at Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics. The website afterlifetopics.com, or you can check out my books, Understanding Life After Death, The Afterlife and Beyond, or sign up for our classes where we talk about life after death and related subjects in much greater detail with bi-weekly discussion kind of roundtable groups. And that's $30 a month. You become a patron of this channel, of this group, and it really helps keep this going. So you can sign up for that at afterlifetopics.com/university. And that's it. I will see you on the next video.